attempt numero dos
Yeah.
on the podcast.
It's just we don't have good luck with this shit.
No, no. We were talking for like 5 minutes, and then I randomly could not hear a goddamn word Corin was saying. And it was registering like you guys probably could hear it, but I couldn't hear it. So how can you continue a podcast when I can't hear it?
You should be able to write to Skype and fucking get like a free membership, even though this shit is free anyway. I sent a note to Chipotle because I had this kid at my office actually had two past buy one get one cards from January from March. So he was like, "Oh, they're expired, whatever." I was like, "Oh, give them to me." So I wrote to Chipotle, and some lady hit me back, and she's gonna send me two new ones with like newer expiration dates on them.
That's a lot. You deserve whatever the discount is that you got. You deserve it for doing that work because that was work.
I was mad nice to her because I was just like nice. I was like, "Oh, I go to this Chipotle. I love you guys, blah, blah, blah." I sent her a picture of the two coupons, and I circled the expired date on them. I was like, "Let me know if you want me to send them back." And she hit me back and was like, "Yeah, send them back." So I'm hoping because I was nice that she'll hook me up with like, here, 20 free fucking burrito coupons.
Damn, do they give out free burrito coupons? Because that'd be the best thing ever.
Yeah, Molly once wrote to them because the Chipotle we go to they were out of forks. So she wrote them a note and was like, how are you guys out of forks, blah, blah. And they sent her two free like bowl, burrito, or quesadilla joint.
Oh. If you got like 100 of those, that's like literally 100 separate meals.
Dude, people do that. I mean, like, it's very underrated reaching out to a company and they're going to take care of you because one, they want your business. And two, like if you do it on Twitter, like if you had a problem with some shit and you tweeted it, they would fucking give you everything because the amount of followers, they get people with like 6 followers and no picture, like, and write some shit like, "Yo, Nike, what the fuck? Like my shoe's a little too tight." They're like, "Hey man, please reach out to us via here, send back this, and we'll send you some free shit." If someone with some juice said something, it's a wrap. Like if you really had a problem at Chipotle and tweeted that shit, it's over. It's fucking over.
I was this close to doing that with health insurance when my health insurance company was fucking me over.
Oh, they don't give a fuck.
Because exactly. Because you know how much I hate our healthcare system.
Yeah.
And like there was like a lapse in my insurance, like because they fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
And because they didn't transfer over from the new way to take the money out of my account versus the old way when I had updated it.
Yeah.
And I nearly pulled telling the Secular Talk audience, like, pester the fuck, like, tell this company that they fucked up.
I feel like that would be the only shit that they would not give a fuck.
Yeah, because it's captive. Because it's like, who am I going to go to? There's like fucking 4 of those companies, you know, and they all suck. And then what are you going to do?
There's no like face of that company. Like whereas Coca-Cola is huge, but if you tweeted at them or did some shit, they'd still want to get in front of it because there's a face to Coca-Cola. Like there's a identity that they want to uphold.
Yeah, and it's also the amount. The amount for each thing, like health insurance is fucking expensive. Mm-hmm. Whereas with, if it's McDonald's, let's say, yeah, they could send me like 5 free burgers and it's like, wow, like how much does that cost to actually produce?
Yeah.
Fucking $5. Like you just gave me free $5.
Yeah.
But
I got
then again,
blessed off of you because I went to White Castle and I tweeted a photo that you retweeted and they hit me up like, "Hey man, send us your address or some shit, and we want to send you a couple coupons." I was like, "That's what's up." They sent me. It was only like 2 burgers and a drink. I was a little tight that they didn't like bless me with more.
I love how you got free White Castle out of the show. Meanwhile, it's like I want free White Castle.
Yo, White Castle will hook you up. They're one of those brands that like they take care of their people. They know what's up.
It's so funny because I've been doing these like videos like. For the past few shows, I haven't had enough time to eat anything before the show, but like I had to eat because I was starving before the show. So I ended up taking like one of those microwavable burritos on air with me. In the first segment, I was just kind of eating the burrito, and I was just telling people like, "I'm eating a burrito right now."
Those shits are banging too.
They are pretty good, and I ended up posting the segment, and then I was joking around and saying like I sold out to Big Burrito along with Big Seltzer. And so now we got a list going. Kyle's a sellout to Big Seltzer, Big Burrito.
You can only do things with like big in front of it.
Well, that's because like if you sell out to Big Oil, that's the like it's like Big Seltzer, Big Burrito. Another one was Big Red Cup because I was drinking water. I was out of seltzer, so I was drinking water out of a Big Red Cup that looks like the ones you used to play beer pong with or some shit.
Yeah, red Solo cups.
Yeah, so I was like sell out to hashtag Big Red Cup, and then there was one more. It was hashtag Big Cracker because I was eating saltine crackers one day on air. And then I was saying how Big Cracker sounds like a rapper name.
Yeah, that would probably be like a racist rapper with like swastika tattoos on his face and all that stuff.
This just took a dark turn.
Well, no, I'm saying like Big Cracker wouldn't be like a nice white guy. Boom.
Product placement. Oh, you too? What the fuck?
I switched up. Did I send you the photo of the other brand, LaCroix or whatever?
Oh yeah, you told me that LaCroix has
like rat poisoning shit in there.
Like insecticide or something was in it. Not insecticide. Yeah. It was something not good.
Well, supposedly a lot of these companies like it's not like
it's not an uncommon ingredient. Yeah,
exactly.
Like sometimes that's the thing. Sometimes those headlines are misleading because it doesn't really tell you the whole story. Mm-hmm. Like you read on and you're like, the thing used in insecticide is lemon.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, so this isn't a big deal.
I still don't want that shit tied to my like seltzer, like it still doesn't.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. Just for my own fucking dumb like knee-jerk reaction reasons.
But this
is fucked up because we're both drinking Polar. And by the way, I checked. You were right. The company that actually hooked me up back in the day was Vintage. It was not Polar.
Yeah, I fucks with Vintage because that was a good look by them.
Yeah, so I don't even know why I fucked this Polar. I should be drinking Vintage right now.
Yeah, true. People at Vintage are probably like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like, yo, we blessed you. But that's okay. I think the last time we did the podcast, I was wearing a Vintage shirt.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, hopefully, hashtag Vintage is better.
But it's only smart of these fucking companies to, like, partner with, like, people, that, like, relate to their audience and shit. Because, like, your audience trusts you. You're not lying to them. So you really fuck with Vintage Seltzer. Or
my audience knows I fuck with all seltzer. Like I just, except the funny thing is, the one I haven't had is the one that everybody says is the hot shit, which is LaCroix, which is the one that you were like, don't fucking get it.
So it just goes to show that you know your shit.
Because they're more flavorful, right? Aren't they more flavorful? Like they're
more flavorful. They're more expensive.
Yeah, I see. I don't need when I drink seltzer. I don't want anything crazy flavorful. I just want like water with bubbles.
You'd be like the pitch man for seltzer, like the Dos Equis man, like the world's most interesting seltzer drinker.
Well, not the world's most interesting. The world's most boring. The world's most vanilla. something basic. The world's most basic. The world's most basic seltzer drinker. It's just me sitting there drinking seltzer like this.
Just doing like regular shit.
Yeah, you see me like waking up and brushing my teeth and just sipping seltzer. Taking a shit and sipping seltzer.
I don't know, but that's genius to like. So I reached out to Chipotle. I'm gonna fucking.
You gotta tell me what they end up giving you, because if they give you something like 5, that'd be crazy. Yeah. Imagine they give you 5.
Well, I spend so much money at Chipotle, like it's only like it would only be right that they hooked me up with some shit.
By the way, that's a good move. I think that's a good move, and you can. I mean, you could get. What do you get? What's your go-to order? Because there's ways to eat super healthy at Chipotle.
Well, I get a bowl.
That's already healthier than the burrito for sure.
Yeah. I get white rice and I get extra white rice. I tell them to just load that shit up. Like
you don't get brown rice? Brown rice is supposed to be a little better than white rice, but white rice isn't bad.
Yeah, that's what they say. But like white rice is whatever. It's not going to kill me,
No, it's not going to kill you.
I get black beans.
Banging.
Chicken. Sometimes I do like the chicken steak combo.
Banging.
And they're like, you want double? I'm like, nah, just hit me with the regular shit, but be heavy on the hand.
The only thing is you can't go nuts on the sauces, though. That's the thing. Because that's where the calories start stacking up.
And that's what hits the toilet bowl is the sauces.
Well, yeah, you said the green sauce that fucks with your stomach?
Shit, yeah.
And you get it anyway.
Well, yeah, I know.
You're like, this time it'll be okay. And then like an hour and a half later, you're like,
It's probably a combo of like that and the corn or something like that. It's got to be a combo with something.
You think? Well, what was the last time you had an order from Chipotle without?
Without the green?
Yeah.
I think I've gotten it every time.
Damn, really? You like the taste that much?
I don't know. I should stop getting it. I think it's just
You
like
just try it
so.
without it.
Yeah, it's
You
so
could just,
routine to just
yeah.
say like boom, 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 boom.
For me, I fuck with sour cream, but then
Hmm.
that shit adds a hell of a lot of calories. So I was like, let me just not get it, and it still tasted pretty good.
Yeah, sour cream is good. Chipotle in general is just off the chains, and
Yeah, I
that's why
know.
they should have a punch card. Every spot should have a frequent buyer card because it's like a loyalty. It's like, hey man, I'm been here 10 times.
Yeah,
I'm spending mad money here. Hook me up one time. Like
yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
sort of greedy and fucked up when they don't have a punch card.
Yeah, because they're gonna make money off you, even if they give you one free meal for every 10 that you eat
That's
there.
what I'm saying, and
Yeah.
it's sort of like if someone were to think like I'm thinking right now, I'd fucking been there so much, and they're never once like, yo, this one's on me.
It,
And I'm
it's
like, yeah, fuck you guys are mad greedy.
it scares me how quickly I can house one of their burritos. Like I could eat a whole, like, because I know every time I talk to somebody, their reaction is always like, "Oh, you having Chipotle? I don't get one of those burritos. Can't finish that." And they say it like so matter of factly, like, "Oh, obviously nobody can finish the burrito. I mean, come on, look how big it is." And every time I get a burrito, I could easily finish it.
Yeah, you know you get a good burrito when they can't fold that shit.
You know, yes and no. Like I like that I can eat more shit that way, but at the same time, you pause. You can't get it all in your mouth.
No, you don't bite the like. You gotta go step by step in this shit anyway. It's a process. It's
I'm a
like
monster. When I had the fat ass burrito, I'd pick it up and just.
yeah, but you also do that with burgers. I've never been that type. Like there's people that dive right into the burger, but then there's also people that just bite into their burger. You know what I'm saying? Like there's like when Guy Fieri eats a burger on any of his like diner drive-in drive
It's a
shows,
big bite.
it's like one of those like
Monster
his
bites. Yeah,
yeah
yeah,
his
yeah.
mouth. Like I don't stretch my mouth out that much.
Yeah,
I'm just
I house
like
it. I house whatever the fuck I eat.
yeah. See, I can't do that big of a bite because I don't want to get like shit on my face. I think that's my pro. I think that's my issue.
Do I get shit on my face when I eat the burger?
You have to. There's no possible way to take that big of a bite and not get some ketchup, some mayonnaise, some like
Oh yeah, you
sauce
probably
shit on your
sure.
face.
But it's not like you
You
leave
know?
it on. You fucking take it off right away. You grab a napkin and
Yeah,
fix it.
but I just feel like you still have a whole rest of your meal.
There
if
are
you're
some
going out
burgers
after or
you
some
can't
shit.
help it. You have to open your mouth that much, like because some of them are thick. Like thick, there are thick burgers out there. That
There's
burrito.
still a right way to do it though, without getting shit all
Okay,
over
but
your
like,
face.
how do you eat that burrito without opening your mouth wide? Because that burrito from Chipotle there's no way to not.
No, you do it in sections. That's why you start with like the top right corner or something, then you work your way to the middle.
So you're saying start with like a nibble and slowly work your way?
not a nibble, but you could take a big bite out of the right corner, the left corner, but like you can't dive right into the middle because then you're
Yeah,
gonna
but
get
nobody could.
rice and
Has
shit.
anybody in the history of Chipotle ever tried to take a bite right out of that middle? Because you can't. Like, you have to start at the corner. That's a given. But even when you bite the corner, I'm saying you have to open your mouth really big. That burrito's thick, son.
Someone might bite right into the middle because they might have a theory like, oh, there's more juiciness. Like you want your first bite to be like, oh fuck yeah, like you don't want to bite. Sometimes you bite into the right or left corner and you get all the bread from the like burrito.
Yeah, that's upsetting.
Someone might want to just chop right into the middle of the shit and get like all the gushy stuff.
Yeah. Damn, I want Chipotle. We need to stop talking about Chipotle.
There's strategies to eat. Like when I used to eat my Eggo waffles, I would chop the left corner, I would chop the right corner, I would do the middle, and then you have like the whole middle juice of like butter, syrup that is just like compiled into that middle area of your Eggo, and then you slice that into one bite, and the rest of the meal is not as good after that bite, but that middle, so it takes 1, 2, 3, your fourth bite of eating an Eggo should be your best bite.
Damn. When I eat Eggo waffles, I'm a savage. First of all, I eat them with
Eat
my
them
hands.
just with your hand. Yeah, I remember that.
How'd you know that? You've seen me do it, haven't you?
I think I have, yeah. I think you just picked it up and they were just like, I was like,
You're like,
You're
what are
eating
you
it.
doing?
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll straight up put the butter and the fucking syrup right on it and still eat it with my hand. And still magically find a way to not get that on my hand, but eat the waffles that way. I'm a savage. I'm a savage. The way I eat is ridiculous. You would think, like, right now I weigh 175.
Hmm?
The way I eat, people would
Good.
think, like, you should be 230.
Yeah.
You know?
175 is pretty good. I thought you'd be more than that. I think I'm at like 180 right now.
Yeah, we were talking about this the last time when we were in LA, how you weighed more than me, and that was the first time in the history of us knowing each other where you weighed more than me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to be on point now.
I know. You were just telling me before the podcast that I'm going to go for a run.
Oh, yes.
Did you go for a run or no?
Oh, yeah, I went for a run. Sorry, I was watching the Yankees. They're down fucking 4-0 right now.
You know what I had on before this? I had on, I turned on the American Music Awards because I hate myself.
Oh,
and
I hate all that shit.
2 things that I took away from it. Number 1,
Mm-hmm.
John Stamos does not age. Number 2, Jennifer Lopez doesn't age. Neither one of them.
She doesn't age. But Stamos, like, they get all
Nah,
this, like,
he didn't age.
But he gets work done and shit, man.
I'm sure he
like,
gets work done, but whoever the fuck his surgeon is, he needs to pay him double what he's paying him, because fuck, he looks like he did when he was on fucking Full House in 1996.
Yeah, but he's got a fucked up belly button.
Dead
You know
ass.
about that shit, right?
Nah, I'm gonna look it up now.
Yeah, it's a thing. John Stamos' belly button.
No, are you serious?
He's got like a weird looking belly button.
John Stamos, he's like aging in reverse.
Yeah, but I hate when people like. I don't like Hollywood people should not
Ooh,
be.
he does have a weird belly button.
It's like weird, right? It's like saggy and shit.
No, like something's going on with it. Like, what the fuck is going on here?
Hopefully, he didn't have like some shit, because that would be fucked up.
Yeah,
But I think
then we're assholes.
Yeah, I think he just has a fucked up belly button.
It almost looks like there's the little head of a dick above his belly button, and it's engulfed his belly button. So there's like a little dick. There's like a man with a dick inside of him trying to push his dick out of the belly button from inside of him.
You know what's weird?
Pictures.
It's just like being born with some shit and have like, if you're born with an Audi, it's just I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but you're just different from what everyone, when a majority of people have in any, you know?
I'm gonna ask the world's dumbest question now, but I feel like an Audi was only a thing when we were kids. Like, I feel like there's no adults who still have Audis.
What, that they like
But they have
eventually
to,
just
right?
pop back in? Hell yeah, the motherfuckers definitely have Audis.
I feel like when we were kids, that was a thing. Like, oh, do you have an innie or an Audi? Like, that was a thing. Like, oh, do you have an innie or an Audi? And then now, I feel like adults, nobody's like, yeah, I have an Audi.
You don't really like.
Yeah, you don't talk about that with.
You don't talk about that in. Like,
Why would you
don't
talk
even
about that? Nobody's
Yeah.
at work like, hey,
Hey, man.
Dave, show me your belly button. He's like 46. He's like, I have kids. I'm sending some to college. It's weird how only a tiny percentage of the population are lefties. Isn't that weird?
Is it tiny percentage?
Yeah, wouldn't you think only like wouldn't you think it'd be like 50-50?
It should be more closer to 50-50.
That's what I'm saying, and it's not. Let me look this up. Percentage.
I'm like not as big on the lefty thing because my mom's a lefty, my wife's a lefty, my sister's a lefty. So
Only
right there, I know
Only
10% are
That's it.
lefties.
That's it.
What?
That's what I'm saying. And you know how I knew that it was a tiny percentage? Golf.
Uh-huh.
Because you look at golf, the overwhelming majority of golf, literally 90% of golfers are right-handed. So whenever, like, if you're playing
And
golf,
baseball pitchers too. It's like if you're a left-handed pitcher,
it's rare.
You're gonna have a career for a while because it's rare.
That's crazy. Why? That makes no sense. By the way, I actually when I played hockey when I was a kid, roller hockey and ice hockey, I played lefty. So it's weird because that's what I do lefty is hockey. Everything else I do righty. And I'm not even ambidextrous. The only thing I did lefty was hockey. Everything else is righty.
That's like you would hit and all that stuff.
First time I picked up a hockey stick, I set up with it and I was like, this feels the most comfortable. And it was lefty. And
That's weird.
it is weird. And then meanwhile, golf, picked up a club, righty felt totally normal. Hockey, picked up a stick, lefty felt normal. And there's nothing, like it's not even like, oh, but I can do, like I could write with my left hand if I wanted to, or I could beat off with my left hand if I wanted to. I don't do anything. The hand does nothing except for whatever reason I play hockey lefty.
I can't do shit with my left hand. And come to think of it, it's like The only thing I could do is like you type on a keyboard because you're just moving your fingers, you know. But other than that,
Oh yeah, yeah,
like,
typing, yeah. But that's
like
a given, right?
holding grocery bags or something like that.
Yeah,
Like
but holding is just holding, you know.
you would think like people as a whole would figure out how to like. It's such a untapped market. Your like non-dominant hand that people don't use as much, you know.
I wonder how much people can be trained to use it. Like, or is it just no, you're naturally this, so you're just never going to be. Like, think about it. If I really like, if you wanted to pick up golf from scratch, you could just start trying to play lefty, and it's like
that's what I'm saying.
That's what it feels like, just starting from scratch, because that is
I
what
don't
it feels
know
like.
because I just feel like motions to the right would be stronger for some reason. Like
100%. I wonder if even given the same amount of time, so give me another 30 years working lefty, if I could get to as good as I am righty. Probably not. It's probably not possible.
no,
It's probably not possible, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, so there is something about being righty or lefty is just natural, and it doesn't matter how much you like train it to be the opposite. You're just trying to go against what you naturally are, which is crazy. Like, you would think, like, oh, no, you could just train it and you'll be good. It's like, no, you'll never really be as good.
well, there's baseball players that are switch hitters that can hit, you know, but they've trained to bat
Probably
on
from
the
when
other
they were
side.
kids, too.
Yeah, but why can't someone just be born and have the same amount of like everything in both hands?
Don't
you know what
some
I'm saying?
people have, I think some people probably are ambidextrous like that, where they genuinely could do it equally with both naturally.
Yeah.
But I feel like most people is just naturally righty, and you put them lefty, and they're like, I'm not even close. I can't do anything.
Yeah. People. That's one of those things where it's just like people are born with like a weird, you know, thing. Like someone who's born with an Audi. Why was that person born with an Audi and someone was born
Let's
like
Google
ambidextrous?
Let's
you
Google
know?
the percentage of Audis. Percentage of people with Audi belly button.
What is the belly button?
4%. 4%, even smaller than lefties. I never
The
knew it
only
was
reason
that.
we use our belly button is because when we're babies, the like umbilical cord is attached to like something. The
Yeah,
mother?
I think that that's how you get like your nutrients is when you're a fetus.
Mm-hmm.
The umbilical cord is attached obviously to the mother, and then what the mother like eats, some of that goes through the umbilical cord and into your body
Yeah.
because you obviously can't eat.
But then after birth, it's like we've got no use for our belly button. Like
Pretty
that shit
much.
sort of goes unforgotten.
Pretty much.
It's not. Yeah.
That is kind of weird. I mean, and talk about like if you were to explain this, it's like an alien design. Like we sound like
know.
aliens.
I
Like,
know.
Yeah, so there's this tube that connects to my mother, who I'm growing inside of, and you know, after 9 months when we come out, there's still this weird tube that connects us, and then the doctor has to cut it. They have to cut a fucking tube that connects you to your mom.
Yeah, but the fact that we're so reliant on that tube when we're a baby that like we can feed people through it and like we're living off of that. But then right after that moment, once it's cut, it's like we can never use that again. Like why not when we're 90, can't we like reattach that tube into someone who's healthy and living and like live off of them?
We
you know?
have it that you just came up with an awesome plot for a horror movie. You should fucking write that shit down because that's a good horror movie. Like you can see all these 90-year-old people and like all the young, and they like start attacking all the young people
just to attach a cord to their belly
just
button.
to attach
like,
a cord to them and like live off of them, and it sucks the life energy out of the young people.
It's like a phone charger. Like it's like you come over to my crib for like the nighttime.
Well,
and I
then
just
no,
plug
then
my
it's not a
belly
horror
button to
movie.
yours.
Then it's just you're helping your next door neighbor out. If they have to permanently keep it attached, though, that would be a horror movie.
Well, then what are you gonna like walk around with the person like in front of you? You gotta like charge from it or something like that.
No, you like kill them. Like you kill them, you suck all the life energy out of them through the tube, and then they die. And then you're walking around and you
That's
just
why we're not directors, because if we pitch this shit to like M. Night
should be
Shyamalan
like,
or
this is the
something,
dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard. And we're not even high as we're talking about this. We're just
we'd be
being
like, no, dude, listen.
So the
you're not
umbilical
listening.
cord, you know the umbilical cord when you're a kid? Okay, think about like that, but with old people.
And you're like, yeah. But But no, it like recharges him, and the other dude is not dead, and he's like, "No, I'm not doing it."
Yeah, nobody would produce that movie. But I would watch them. That no, actually wrong. You know who would produce that movie? Sci-fi.
Tyler Perry.
The sci-fi Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry's Audi belly button umbilical cords.
He can make that shit hot.
And he stars in it, and he's like 3 characters in it.
I mean, like, that guy can make any fucking movie. It's like, all his movies are like, Tyler Perry goes to the mall. Tyler Perry, like, takes his shit. Tyler Perry is Santa Claus.
Remember
like,
National Lampoons? How they put National Lampoon in front of every fucking movie they do? Like, National Lampoon's fucking something.
Holiday Vacation, like, regular vacation,
Yeah.
Vegas vacation, like, overseas vacation.
Do they still exist, National Lampoons? Because I haven't seen a movie with National Lampoon in front of it for a minute.
Chevy Chase was on that Norm Macdonald show. He was in, like, some shit, and then he made a joke, like, that he was in a remake, but they gave him, like, $3 million or something.
National 70s and 80s. It doesn't exist anymore. I don't think.
I think they came out with a new one with the guy from The Office. What the hell is his name?
Steve Carell?
No, the other one. Andy Bernard was his name in The Office. And I think they made another Lampoons with him.
Oh,
He was the
yeah,
dad.
the college shit.
Something or other.
Some of those movies don't hold up well. When you go
No.
back and you watch them, it's just like, this is cringy.
Well, yeah, a lot of movies are like that just because it's like you don't keep up with the times. I tried watching Trains, Planes, and Automobiles with Steve Martin.
When was that,
Supposedly
from
it was
the
like-
90s or 80s?
Yeah, I didn't get through the whole movie. I can't make it through a whole movie without falling asleep.
Nah, you can. It's just got not like an old movie like that, right? You can't
I mean,
make
it's
it through
not
a new
that
movie? Because
old.
there's some dope movies out there.
No, I could probably make it through a new movie, but a lot of movies that are like dark and like the scenes are like, low voices. Like I can't make
Yeah.
it through a Batman. Fell asleep through Star. We spoke about this last week, but I'm so fascinated by Star Wars just because like for that shit to have such a cult following, like for millions
Wait,
and millions.
didn't you
and millions
not watch it for a long time?
I've never seen like a full Star Wars movie.
And you just tried to do it?
No, I didn't try to do that shit.
Okay. I like how you were like offended by the suggestion, like, how dare you?
No, but I was in Disney World, and like they have a whole Star Wars like world, and it's not finished yet, but they have other Star Wars rides.
There's a debate as to what order you should watch it in.
Or just don't watch it at all. You'll be all right.
I haven't seen some of the newer ones, but I'm going to take like a weekend and just watch Star Wars the whole fucking weekend from beginning every movie.
But if there's so many, there's so
Yeah, so you knock
many.
it out in one weekend. Rainy day?
You think a whole weekend you can knock all those shits out?
Probably. There's only what? How many? How many Star Wars movies are there? Let's look this up. I've been doing a lot of looking up. I feel like Jamie on Joe Rogan.
But yeah, so many people like Star Wars, and it's fascinating to me because I don't like that shit at all, and that it never did anything for me.
Well, if you never saw it, how do you know it never did anything for you?
That's true. Well, I tried going to the theater one time, but it was late and I fell asleep.
Technically, there's been 12 Star Wars movies. The 8
That's
main
too many.
movies, and then the Star Wars Rogue One and 3 limited releases.
Too many.
Yeah, I didn't know there were 12.
I'd rather watch like Pitch Perfect or something like that. There's 3 of those.
The fuck is Pitch Perfect?
The one where they sing in the a cappella group.
Oh, stop it.
You never seen Pitch Perfect?
Oh, the dude who hasn't seen Star Wars is gonna say that to me about Pitch Perfect. You know what's fucking with my attention span? The double speed on YouTube, because I'll watch some stuff on YouTube and throw it on double speed, and now I've gotten to the point where I could listen and follow it on double speed, but now if I try to watch a regular movie or something, I'm like, all right, hurry up.
They do double speed on YouTube?
Yeah. You could click on you could speed a video up to double the normal speed, and so if you're watching somebody talk or whatever for 10 minutes, it becomes 5 minutes, and you get everything in your head in 5 minutes if you can follow along that quickly.
I can't. I tried doing that for Rogan shit. Like
Now,
we were saying,
you
there's
gotta
too
work
many.
your way up, dude. You got to go from 1. Went from 1, I think, to 1.5, and then to 2.
Yeah.
But they have 1, 1.25, 1.5, and then 2. So to make that little jump to 1.25, everybody can go to the 1.25.
Yeah.
Everybody can go to the 1.25. There's no doubt. There is a 100% chance you'll be able to follow along at 1.25. The jump to 1.5, that might take a little bit of getting used to. But once you get to that 1.5 level, there's no going back. Like now, I could only listen on 2 or 1.5.
How are you with like a normal conversation in real life? Like, do you want to speed people up?
No, real life is different because it's you're face to face and you're talking and
True.
But if you're listening to a regular movie, it's like you almost are like, okay, come on, like you can, because there's a lot in movies. Think about it; it's not just dialogue the whole time. Sometimes it's fucking just the shots of a sunrise or whatever, and you're sitting there going, I get what you're trying to do, like the mood you're trying to set right now and the scene you're trying to show, but you could do it a little faster and I'll get it. You know what I mean? So it hurt my attention span a little bit. That was my fear going to that in the first place, was like, if I start listening to shit at 1.5 or 2, then that will probably ruin my fucking attention span. And it did. It definitely did.
Yeah, that's why I'm not going to do that. Just because, one, I don't think I can think that fast. Like, I know it's not that much faster, but I have trouble listening to shit at regular speed because they'll say some shit and I'll like want to look somebody up or try and
for
figure out
me,
what
it helped me because it made me focus. It wouldn't even allow my mind to wander. It's like now I'm listened and I'm plugged in and I have to pay attention to every word. And then it helped me with that. Whereas if it's just going normal speed, sometimes my mind will wander and I'll be like, fuck.
Yes, I feel like I'd be more inclined to wander more. I have bad ADD when it comes to listening to like those shits because it's like I want to do something else. I understand that feeling because but it can happen for anything. You could be doing something that's exactly what you want to do and you know that's exactly what you want to do, but you could just have a little thought of like, I want to be doing that shit now. You know what I mean? Like that can happen. I feel like that's a common thing. Or usually when you listen to a podcast, like they'll say something that you relate to, and then you go back in your mind to like thinking about that situation, or you sort of want to get into their debate, so you'll answer the question in your mind, but at that ahead of speed shit, you're already lost. They're on to the next shit.
No, I'm able to just kind of like take all my side thoughts and throw them out at the double speed.
Oh.
But
that's what I feel like
turn my
makes
brain
the
off
shit
and I can
fun
plug
is like
in.
thinking about.
Oh, okay. Well, then, I hear you. Then it might not be for you, but that's something I think I try to avoid when I listen to a podcast because I just want to kind of go for the ride, as opposed to it sounds like you are like an active participant in a way, like
True.
you're actively
that
participating in it. Whereas me, I'm just like, I can relate to that, but I'll just go for the ride,
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I guess I'm more. I want to be more relating to their shit. It's like, I remember that. I did some shit like that.
Yeah. You saw that another hurricane's coming?
Yeah, it's getting weird, man.
Hurricane Michael.
It goes in order. What was the last shit? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L.
L. It was something with an L.
Was it? Oh,
I don't remember.
No, I can't even remember that shit.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a bad one?
They said it's becoming a Category 3 around now, and then I don't know what it's going to be when it makes landfall, but it's on the other side of Florida. It's like on the western side of Florida. No, not all the way over by New Orleans, but it's by, like, it's going to hit North Florida, and what's right next to it? I think Alabama. It's going to hit there. That's where it's going to hit.
Ooh.
Yeah, but again, this one, I don't know what it'll be when it makes landfall, but it looks like to me
it's going to be big and wet.
It looks like it's in a place where it looks like it's already kind of close to the coastline. Mm-hmm. Like the ones that come from the east, kind of they can taper off in one direction or another because they got a long way to go. You know what I mean? Like they have a long way to go. But the one, I don't even know how it developed. Like, how does a hurricane develop right there?
I think just like the heat and moisture and the ocean and like all that shit starts building up.
So I think I don't know if they did mandatory evacuations this time, but the same day that I heard about this new hurricane, there was a new climate change report that was released.
Yeah, how'd that go?
Dude, by the year 2100, which is really not that far off.
2100.
2100.
Okay. Well, we'll be dead.
We'll be dead, but like if one of us gets lucky and lives like super long, like
think we could make it to 2100?
No, because then we'd be 112ish, which we can't do that.
That's doable.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it stretched like one of the longest living people ever. Like
yeah.
That long away. Like if we became some of the oldest people ever, like they say that the average temperature
2100.
The average temperature is going to increase 7 degrees. And they say that by the year 2030, which is really close,
yeah,
we'll have catastrophic climate change. Like we'll be beyond the tipping point by 2030.
Yeah, I don't doubt that shit, man.
Yeah, and
I don't doubt it. There's fucking crazy storms here in Illinois. It's like there's lightning. Like my whole house will shake. It's like rainy. It's like scary shit, and then people just go into work the next day and they're like, "Oh, did you feel like you just talk about it because it's not like that bad?" But eventually, that shit's gonna be really bad, and people are all gonna die.
No, but that's the thing is that we're the frog in the boiling pot of water where you don't realize it until like it's too late. Like there's a gradual increase until you're just done. You know.
I feel like I would. Yeah.
That's what's happening with climate change. It's like there's no moment where you could just like pound the gavel to everybody and go, all right, so we all agree? Yep, we all agree. Let's fix this. Because there's always going to be people who are like contrarian or who are ignoring the science or who are bought off by big oil. And like in the report that was released, this is from the Trump administration. They released this report, but in the report, they basically said like, all right, look, it's going to be really bad and there's basically nothing we can do about it anyway, so what are we going to do? Like it was basically just like they threw their hands up like, whatever, it is what it is. So
we got rid of plastic straws, so that's a start.
That was in California, right?
It's gonna be like everywhere soon, but I'm against that shit.
I mean,
there's got to be something else we could do besides get rid of the fucking plastic straw.
I mean, it sounds like it's an easy punchline. Like I've seen a lot of stuff from right wingers on Twitter, like making a punchline out of that, like, oh, at least we banned the straws. But it's like, what if that actually does help a lot? You know what I mean? Like, just make the straws with something else. Make it with, like, fucking not plastic. Because isn't the problem that the plastic builds up in the oceans or something? And there's, like, a fucking garbage patch the size of Texas sitting in the middle of the ocean?
But what about, like, all of Florida? Like, so I was just in Florida, and, like, the whole coast of Florida, they have this, like, red dye or some shit in the water. Like, that's becoming really bad. And
the algae thing, the algae bloom, right? Is that what you're talking about?
I don't know. It might be different. It was like some red. I think it was like red dye was the thing or something like that. Red something, but it was caused by like some
red tide.
Red tide. Yeah. And that was caused by like some oil company or some shit. So like, regardless of anything we do of like straws and like scissoring, cutting. Like cutting scissors through the cans.
I know, but everybody just pictured lesbian scissoring.
The more scissoring to do, the less global warming we'll have. All that shit that you do, there'll still be one like dick oil company that like fucks it all up completely. You know, like. So
yeah, people are always going to break laws, but you still should have good laws.
Yeah, but it's just like, why not just? Yeah, I guess I don't know. Straws is just like I'm tight because I know
that one is easy to poke fun of because it seems like you have all these other like you have fucking homeless people. There's like a homeless epidemic in California, and like you're like, oh, we banned straws today. It's like, well, nice fucking priorities. Why don't you give people housing? Like, I get, like, I understand. I don't want people to misunderstand what I'm saying. Like, I get it. Like, I get how that's an easy punchline. I'm not denying, like, the comedic value of it. But I'm just saying at the same time, if that actually ends up doing whatever, if it actually ends up limiting massively the amount of pollution or whatever, those are things that even though they look silly, like, I mean, think about it. Let's say that there was a law that mandated that by, like, let's say the year 2030, car companies have to be, like, they have to be electric cars, that they can't run on like on gas anymore.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Yeah, but I'm saying like that's another one of those things where people would mock that and they'd be like, "Oh, you're gonna fucking ban the gas cars? You're gonna fucking ban the gas cars? That's what you're gonna do?"
I don't feel like they would.
But it's like
because that one is like cars are so big. A straw is like that serves a purpose. Like you don't want to put your mouth on some nasty saliva shit that someone else had. Like,
but there's gonna be fucking alternatives to plastic, right? I'm sure there's some.
they have the paper straws or something like that.
It's something. There's something. But anyway, my point is like it's easy. Like there are some things that are very mockable that are still the right thing to do. Like if they were to say we're phasing out gas cars by 2030 and every new car you buy has to be electric. Like that's extreme and that's easy to make fun of. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, you kind of should do that though because look at what's fucking happening. Like we're destroying this planet.
Yeah,
I saw a good tweet the other day. Here, let me read this tweet because I didn't know this, and this is a really interesting fact about like who's responsible for climate change. Let me
Is it not people?
It's here, hold on, I'll tell you exactly what it says, so I don't need to guess anymore. Okay, this is from Adam Johnson on Twitter. He said, "A reminder that 100 corporations are responsible for 71% of global greenhouse gas emissions, and presenting the crisis as a moral failing on the part of individuals without noting this fact is journalistic malpractice." So he's saying 100 corporations are responsible for 71% of global greenhouse gas emissions. So in other words, yeah, you just need regulations to...
Yeah.
Because they're...
So, I mean, the people are doing their part already. It's just another... It's not us causing the fucking
yeah, exactly. You need systemic change. Like it's not an individual failing. See, look, this is what CNN said that he was responding to with that tweet. CNN said, "Scared about that new report on climate change? Here's what you can do: eat less meat, swap your car or plane ride for a bus or train, use a smart thermostat in your home, and upgrade to more efficient appliances." And his response is like, "Hey, assholes, 100 corporations are responsible for 71% of the greenhouse gas." Like, no, fucking tweet about them and tweet about fucking how we need to fix the laws.
The news is like, hey, spend more money, buy more products, buy a new gadget. Where it's like, no, government, do your job.
Fix the fucking problem. Yeah, fix the real problem. Don't tweak around the edges and fucking put it on regular-ass people.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everything is like, buy this new product or like, spend more money to fix this shit, where it's like, no, there should be just like a law intact that is known. You can't dump oil into the ocean or you can't fucking do this. Like,
wouldn't it be, look, this, I'm not even sure if I believe what I'm about to say, but I'll throw it out there because fuck it. Shouldn't like certain crime, like I always had this feeling of like, shouldn't corruption be viewed almost equivalent in our laws to murder? Because I feel like corruption is really at the root of all the problems in the country. Like, think about it. The reason that we're not doing anything to fix climate change, corruption, because big oil pays the politicians and then they do their bidding. The reason why we don't have Wall Street regulations to prevent the next crash, and the reason why we have insane levels of income inequality, corruption, because the rich pay the politicians and the politicians do their bidding. And you can go down the list, and any serious issue, war, why are we bombing 8 different countries right now? Why do we have 900 military bases around the world? Really, at the heart of it is corruption, because you have military-industrial complex, you have defense contractors paying politicians, then politicians do their bidding. So all of the real problems this world is facing, it's really from corruption. So since that's the case, and the thing that's extra nefarious about it is that it's so easy for that to be viewed as business as usual. It's like, well, what do you mean? I'm a politician, and I take money from the lobbyists for fucking ExxonMobil, and then I vote with them. What's the problem? But it's like, shouldn't corruption be viewed almost like, oh shit, you just took money and did their bidding? That's like you just killed a 7-year-old. Like, you should go to prison for like 35 years for that.
Yeah.
Because then you got to make an example so that then it's like, they're not going to do it because they know that there's too much running on it. And if they get caught, they'll be in fucking trouble.
Yeah, well, like the Bernie Madoff thing, it's like he did the financial corruption, but because he did all that shit, it almost was like murder because it led to people killing themselves or like someone killing a spouse because they lost all their money, or like he lost all their money so they killed themselves. Like, he was basically murdering all these people through his like financial corruption. You know,
That's
like
right. If you decide I'm gonna rob some alcohol and some cigarettes and like let's say $500 that's in the cash register from a convenience store and you get caught, you're going to jail for years, for fucking years. But if you do what they did at Goldman Sachs, where they did fraud and they told people, oh, we're going to sell you these complicated financial products that are these mortgages, but don't worry, they're rated AAA and you'll make a lot of money off of this. They sold those to people and then they turned around and bet on those same products they just sold to fail. They said, I bet these products are going to fucking go belly up. So you committed fraud. They got away with it. None of them went to jail. So you can fucking basically steal from people billions of dollars and you're fine. But if you fucking steal like $600 worth of shit at the convenience store, you go to prison. That makes no sense. That makes no sense.
All these companies, nothing makes sense to me. Like I just saw Toys R Us is going to be coming back. It's
I
like
saw that too.
But it's like you don't think about like all the shady shit that's probably going on behind the scenes that for them to come back. It's like there's a reason they went bankrupt and don't have any money. How are they coming back? You know, it's like if I go bankrupt and I'm broke as fuck, I don't come back a couple months later. Like I'm down for like 20 years before it's like, motherfuckers, I'm back.
Dude,
you know?
Trump is the worst with all those stories. I don't know if you heard about that New York Times article that just came out last week, but they did like deep investigative reporting on his family's finances. And like, dude, he got like everything from his dad.
Yeah.
He was never successful on his fucking businesses went bankrupt 6 different times, but he took the equivalent of over $400 million from his dad. They were saying that when he
didn't pay any taxes or anything on it, right? When he got it, right?
And that's how he was able to get so much of the money is that they dodged the taxes. They were supposed to pay for the estate tax at the time. They were supposed to pay a 55% tax rate on over $1 billion. Him and his brothers and sisters, or I don't even. Yeah, he does have a sister, but they ended up paying 5% instead of 55%. And so he ended up passing over $1 billion to his siblings, and Donald Trump ended up getting over $400 million in today's dollars on his own. And like they had all these complicated schemes, man, where they would like. One of the things they did is they opened up a business and they said, "Oh, this is one of the businesses that puts like the furniture and all that stuff in the hotels that we have and in our on our properties and shit." And what they would do is they would massively mark up the cost of the shit. So if they got like a table, let's say, they'd bill it as like a $300 table. Well, no, the table only costs $100. $200 of that $300 would just go into Donald Trump's bank account.
Yeah, I mean it's like money laundering. That's exactly what happened in.
It was all fucking illegal.
It happened in the show The Ozarks in season 1. Like
I want to watch that eventually.
Oh, true. Well, no, it's not bad. I mean, he invests in like this like motel company, and he does all the like refurbishing of the building or whatever. But like he'll clean the floors, but he'll chalk it up as like $4,000 to do it, you know, and it's his way to like wash the money through.
Exactly.
So it's just like you find like I'm sure they did something legally, but like
some of it was legal. It was legal tax whatever fuckery. Yeah. But then some of it was just flat out illegal. Another thing they do is I think they devalued the properties that were passed down to his kids, Trump Sr. down to his kids. They devalued it like over 10 times. It was something like 16 times less. So they said like, oh yeah, this is worth like fucking $100,000, this property. Meanwhile, it's like a fucking $1.6 million property. It's like, it was a lot of shit that was like that. There was Donald Trump, but when he was like 3 years old, he was getting paid $200,000 a year. And then
when he was 3 years old,
when he was 3, he was getting paid $200,000 a year by his dad. And then it became millions by the time he was like a teenager. And then his dad just gave him like a fucking 62 room apartment building. Like just a fucking silver spoon entitled pampered little prick. But anyway, that gets to what you were saying about like what goes on behind the scenes that really makes these things like the Toys R Us thing. Yeah, like what made Donald Trump Donald Trump? Well, his fucking dad, who was so rich. Yeah. I mean, look, it's not even that hard to tell that he's not that smart. Like, isn't it pretty obvious that Trump's an idiot? Like when he talks.
Do you think he knew that toilet paper was on his foot?
Nah, I don't think he knew.
How do you not? I think he knows his shit. I feel like it's almost like he
mean,
does this to get attention from people. Like, I haven't followed anything Donald Trump, but I saw that shit. It's like, I feel like, how there's no bathroom in his limo. How the fuck did he even step on toilet paper? Like, was that shit on his foot from whenever he left whatever building he was in?
yeah, he probably went like right from the bathroom into the limo and then to the
But he definitely,
airport.
I think he weirdly has like an advisor who's like, you don't give a fuck anyway. Let's put like a toilet paper on your foot and you walk up the steps with it. So you get on every news cycle. That shit was everywhere. How do you not see that shit sitting in a car?
The only problem with that theory is that I don't think he's smart. I think he's a dumbass. So I don't think he would have thought to like
I think he's a dumbass who thinks like a dumbass, but like that's a dumbass thought. Like if I was his advisor and we were this far in the game, I would say some shit like that. I'll be like,
oh, distract the news cycle by putting toilet paper on you. I mean, it works. Whatever the fuck, whatever dumb thing, like they will talk about the dumb thing over the real thing. Like it's a guarantee because the story I just told you about the tax dodging, son, it was out of the news cycle in a day. In a day. How
long do they talk about his foot with the toilet paper?
Longer than the fucking tax dodging thing. The tax dodging barely got fucking mentioned, dude.
That's why I'm saying I think they come up with these. How many times can some weird shit happen to somebody? Like even George Bush, like weird shit happened once in a blue moon. He would fuck up a saying.
He was bad.
Or do some shit. He was bad because he was a genuine idiot.
So is Trump.
He is, but like his shit is weirder. Like he just, I feel like they concoct these things and like it's like, oh, you're gonna walk up the steps. We're gonna put a piece of toilet paper on your foot. Fuck it. Like.
No, his ego is too big because he doesn't like. He's like he really thinks like I'm tremendous, I'm amazing, I'm perfect, and so if you put, he wouldn't like if somebody actually brought that up to him, he'd be like, I'm not gonna do that. That would make me look silly. I don't want to look silly. I'm amazing.
I don't know why.
But your theory is noted. Speaking of Trump, you know that Kanye met with him today at the White House.
I don't know how these people keep getting fucking like credibility. You know, like I mean, not that talking with Trump is credible, but like the fact that they get these meetings,
dude,
is an embarrassment to our country.
Imagine in the year 2007, let's say, I told you here's a headline from the future: Kanye West meets President Donald Trump at the White House.
Yeah, I think you're just joking or like making a joke or some shit.
I really hope that Kanye proves us wrong though, and he like ends up actually helping some shit like Kim did. How Kim got that woman out of prison when she shouldn't have been in prison.
Kanye's all about himself, man.
I know,
he's all
really
about
is.
attention for himself, and it's sad, dude. It's sad. Like,
it is. It's sad.
That like a normal person who came up through the fucking everything, you know, who grinded, is now just like so like corrupted by just like the whole world he's been in, like Hollywood.
I also think he's a contrarian. Don't you get that sense too? That like
what do you mean? What do you mean by contrarian?
I mean that so he's one of the people who would argue for the sake of arguing. Like he'd be like, "No, yeah. I'm opposite of everybody." Like whatever you're about to say, even if it's the most obvious shit ever, I'm gonna be like if you say 2 + 2 = 4, I'm gonna be like, "Why not 22? If you put a 2 and a 2 together, it's 2.
Yeah.
Like he strikes me as that. And so I was thinking about it. I mean, when you look at the numbers, it's like over 90% of the black community in America votes Democratic. So I feel like his whole thing, like putting on the Make America Great Again hat and like regurgitating Republican talking points, he feels like, nah, I'm different. I'm not like all the other black people. I'm like, I'm different. And he thinks it's like, oh, I'm being an independent thinker. But it's like, no, you're just a reactionary, and you're just saying I'm the opposite of whatever the majority opinion is.
Yeah.
And like and especially in Hollywood too, especially because in Hollywood, he lives in Hollywood, right?
Yeah, but he's supposedly moving back to Chicago now or something like that. That's what he's talking about, is to try and like talk to Trump about people unrightfully being imprisoned in Chicago or some shit like that. Okay, well,
if that's what he's talking about, I hope he gets some shit to change, because then I'll give him credit. But in Hollywood, like everybody's Democratic, so I feel like his thing is like Like, oh yeah, well, I'm the opposite. Like, I feel like that's as deep as it goes with him. And he thinks that that's some genius shit. Like, oh, see, you said that, and I said the opposite. It's like, no, Kanye, that's simple as fuck.
Yeah.
That's
but
not...
to my point last week, everybody in Hollywood, yes, comes across as liberal and, like, is for, same-sex marriage and all this shit. Like, they have the right, they're there for the right reasons. But they can do that because they have that safety net of, like, multi-million dollars around them. It's not like someone like me or you who are actually fucking grinding and actually, like, like working hard.
Yeah, they're insufferable.
Yeah, so
yeah,
it's like
I don't...
they can be a liberal and have that fluff, like, yeah, I'm a liberal, same-sex marriage, like, here's a gay Friday.
Yeah. Like, it's virtue signaling. That's your point. Like, they're virtue signaling. They're like, I'm a good person.
Yes.
Yes, I 100% agree with that, which is why part of me sympathizes with the idea of, like, especially if you're in that bubble and it's just obnoxious, being like, I'm not whatever you guys are, so fuck off. Like, I get that. But Kanye has become, like, a caricature of the opposite,
Yeah.
Like, he says these things... I covered it on my show. He was like, Democrats have a plan to put black people on welfare and kick fathers out of the home. And it's like, you're just saying the dumb shit that Rush Limbaugh was saying in 1993 as if it's, like, new and interesting and correct. And it's not new, it's not interesting, and it's not correct. You know what I'm saying? But I do get the, like, reactionary hatred of Hollywood because it's true. Like, even just turning on the American Music Awards for fucking 8 seconds. It's like, oh, you guys are so obsessed with yourselves, and you just, like, you get the sense that they don't actually think to get to their conclusions. They're just like, I'm just going to throw in with what everybody else is saying.
Yeah.
So I definitely get that. Like, I don't like the Hollywood
because it doesn't
elite
affect them either way. If there's laws that are created that help the right, they're okay with it. They still got a shit ton of money. But if there's stuff that's created to help the left...
Yeah. Like, they never... Notice, they never in Hollywood are talking about, like, we should really stop doing those tax cuts for the rich. Like, with them, it's just the, like, okay, we don't hate gay people and we don't hate minorities. It's like they'll stick to only the social issues because if we knew what they really thought on the economic stuff, it's not going to be that left-wing because they don't give a fuck about how NAFTA destroyed the working class or permanent normal trade relations with China. They don't care about jobs being outsourced. They don't care about fucking,
they don't care. They care about the actual shit. They care about the fluff stuff that is still important, like the Kavanaugh and like.
Yeah. Exactly. That is important. But yeah, they don't. It doesn't go further. It doesn't go to economic shit.
Yeah. I don't know. Speaking of that, today was the last day to fucking register to vote in a lot of places, and I famously thought I was registered to vote in the Obama election, and I was in college, and I went to fucking vote, and they were like, "Nah, you're not registered, homie."
This was like 08?
Yeah, whenever that shit was.
Well, there were two elections with Obama. Was it 08 or 2012?
Oh, I think it was his first one, maybe 2012.
That's 08, yeah. That's 08 is his first one.
Oh, 08, yeah. And I was mad excited. I was going to vote, and I went to the thing. I think I did it in Cortland, where I went to college. And they might have said I was registered back at home, so I never voted in that shit. But he still won, so.
Damn, that sucks. You didn't. It was your first time, and you got kicked out.
I know. Yeah.
That sucks, man.
Everybody was so excited to vote for him, and I was just like, I think I ran around like telling people I voted for him. 95%
of the people I knew voted for him, and even Republicans I knew voted for him.
Oh, yeah.
Even Republicans I knew voted for him. And you know what they said? They were like, can't risk Palin. That's what they said. They said, John McCain's old as fuck, and if John McCain dies in office, I cannot have Sarah Palin be president. And I was like...
But then they all probably fucking voted for Trump, who was a million times worse than Sarah Palin.
Some of them did, some of them didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them didn't.
But I don't know. I went on the vote.org to see if I was registered, and I'm registered now in Illinois.
Oh, and good. That's good.
Yeah. Afterwards, it sort of hooked me up because you just type in like your name, your email, your phone number, and then it's like, yeah, you're registered. And it's like a big thing to know if you're registered to vote or not, because I don't ever remember like registering to vote. And then it was like, hey, it hit me with some shit afterwards, and I sort of feel like a dick. It was like, hey, can you donate $3 because we're independent and we sort of just hooked you up with some information that would have took you dumb long to
Wait,
find,
what site was this? This was
like vote.org or some
it
shit,
wasn't a government site?
or vote.
Because you could probably find out from the government if you're registered.
Well, I think the website is through whatever because you can register to vote on that shit. I think it was vote.org or vote.gov, but
Yeah, if it
vote.
was .gov, then why are they asking you for money? That's weird.
No, it was org. It
Okay.
was yeah. So maybe I don't know.
That's weird.
But they were like, "Hey, can you donate $3?" And I was like, "X."
So
I
are
just
you
clicked
gonna
down.
vote this year?
Yeah, I'll vote this year.
I feel like a lot of people are
Well,
energized.
so November 6th is like a voting day for some shit, right? I think November 6th is something.
Depends on your state, I think.
Okay, because I keep hearing November 6th is a date for something, and I'm about to just go into the shit.
No, that
and,
might be. You're right. That might be just the midterm elections. Might be November 6th.
and I think someone once got tight in an argument, because they came out and they were like, "Yeah, I just voted every." I think my dad does this or something. He was like, "I just voted all left for the party." And someone was like, "Yeah, but what if the person on?" He was like, "I don't give a fuck." Like I'm about to do the
Well,
same shit.
It honestly it depends. Because it's actually not as crazy as it sounds, because in a lot of democracies, parliamentary systems, you just vote for a party. You don't go for candidate. You vote for just the party, and then it allocates the seats based in that way. What we really need in this country is ranked choice voting, because if you have ranked choice voting, you don't.
Yeah, I think I've heard of that.
You don't have to feel icky. Like, so for somebody like me, in the let's say the whatchamacallit, in the 2016 election, I could have gone Jill Stein first. I'm talking about the general election, not the primary. I could have gone Jill Stein first, Hillary Clinton second, Gary Johnson third, Donald Trump fourth. Or I could have gone Jill Stein, Gary Johnson, Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump. You see what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
then what happens is, if Jill doesn't win, then my vote goes to my second on the list. Then if that person doesn't win, it goes to the third on the list. So it's a way of allowing you to prioritize, as
I
opposed
feel like
to...
that would take so much time though to fucking like figure that shit out,
Nah,
no? Or it'd be like
it won't.
computerized or something.
It wouldn't take that much time. It's just, it allows you to have a more direct say, as opposed to forcing somebody like me, like, you gonna vote for Hillary or are you gonna vote for Jill? You know what I mean? Where instead of going, oh fuck, I gotta think, I could just do it in the order that I like it. That would be great. And by the way, the midterm election is midterm election 2018.
November 6th?
Yeah, November 6th. It's November 6th. So that's when the midterm is.
So that's everywhere, right? That'd be
I think so.
New York,
yeah.
Illinois.
Everywhere where they're having elections. Obviously, not everybody's up for re-election
Yeah.
at the moment, but a lot of stuff is happening November 6th.
Yeah, it's a big day, right? Because I
Huge
mean,
day.
like, they could flip a lot of like Senate seats or some shit.
I think more is up in the House.
Oh,
but
okay.
yeah, they can flip. It is. I don't know. The question is whether or not they're going to win back the House. I don't know. It's a coin toss, honestly, because either the Democrats are going to pick up some seats, but not a crazy amount, or they're going to pick up a crazy amount. That's basically because the historical trends show that when a president's been in office, the first midterms after a president of one party was elected, the opposite party does really well.
Oh, okay.
But then
So
again, there's a lot of weird shit happening, like the Kavanaugh
Ted Cruz
situation.
might lose, right?
The Kavanaugh situation might make it so Republicans turn out a lot, or it might make it so Democrats turn out a lot. Donald Trump going and giving all these rallies in the South might make it so that Republicans turn out a lot, or they could just get lazy and say we already are winning everything, so we don't need to turn out. So it's real. It'll be interesting to see what happens. But yeah, Beto O'Rourke is in one poll he was actually up on Ted Cruz.
Oh, really?
But I think in most polls Cruz has him by a little bit. But Cruz
Well, they were
is
saying
vulnerable,
Texas is like similar to California. It's just the way they
the districting.
that gerrymandering shit?
Gerrymandering. Mm-hmm.
And they just did it so it's like they won every district. That's so fucking crazy, man.
Yeah.
It's just funny that we look at all these other countries and laugh at them, but like we're the worst.
Well, the thing that drives me nuts though is that there are so many easy ways to fix all of this shit, and we're not doing it because of corruption and because of stupidity. Like even just the Electoral College, man, get rid of that fucking ancient stupid thing. Because we have the Electoral College, that it has done so much damage. I mean, think about it. Fewer people voted for Republicans.
Yeah.
In the last election, Donald Trump, the president, lost the fucking popular vote by millions. And then what happened? This dude got to pick 2 Supreme Court justices? Are you fucking kidding me? He got to pick 2 Supreme Court justices. He doesn't represent the majority of the country. Even though I despise Hillary, but I'm just stating a fact. She got more votes than he did, but he gets to pick 2 Supreme Court justices. Are you fucking kidding me? But you got people in Wyoming, which is a population of 8 people, has the same number of senators as the fucking 100 zillion million people in California? You got the same number of senators. Are you fucking kidding me? Get rid of the Senate, abolish the Electoral College, only have the House, bring in ranked choice voting. There's so many easy things that could be done. End gerrymandering by, having bipartisan
state lines, whatever.
Bipartisan commissions draw the districts and have it equally split. It's just there's so much shit. Like everything can be fixed.
Yeah, it doesn't fucking work like that.
By the way, Taylor Swift endorsed a Democrat, and then Republicans flipped out on Twitter, and they were going in on her.
That's my girl. I like Taylor Swift.
Oh, yeah, you have a picture with her.
Yeah, she's good.
If you can find it in your phone, pull it up. I want to show everybody.
Oh, shit is...
it's Diesel. You're not going to find it.
Yeah,
Don't even bother if you can't quickly. I thought maybe you would have favorited it or something, and you would have been able to get it.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, so she endorsed a Democrat, and then she told
people were surprised by that?
Yes, because she has been made a point of staying out of all politics, basically.
Oh.
So people were actually the speculation was she's probably Republican because isn't she from Tennessee?
True. And
yes.
Or she's from one of those spots and
right. So people were like, "Ooh, what the fuck's going on here?" But she endorsed a Democrat, and then what happened was there are some people who were cheering Kanye West getting involved in politics. Well, all of a sudden they were like, celebrities should stay out of politics. Are you fucking kidding? What about Kanye? And then what about the fact you elected Donald Trump? He's a fucking celebrity.
Kanye should go to Politicon and fucking get his point across. Like, if you really cared about shit, you wouldn't
he doesn't know anything. That's why he's like, oh, I like the way Candace Owens thinks. It's because he watched fucking probably 6 or 7 videos of hers, and he's like, yeah, I agree. Like it's not like he didn't think through it. It's just like, oh, this is good.
You'll say a mad good point on one of your shows or some shit, and I'll just say that shit, and people will be like, damn, you're mad smart. Nah, I just stole that shit from Kanye.
Yeah, but
but it makes you look smart for a second.
But he's interjecting himself on purpose into the political shit as if he knows what the fuck he's talking about. You don't try to pretend like you are deep into politics. Like Kanye acts like no, I know some shit. Like I'm a genius. He's called himself a genius a zillion times. But anyway, Taylor Swift
without asking questions. He's never asked a question on everything is
his weird energy shit. He talks about yeah, man, it's all about the energy. We're trying to get love out there. It's what the fuck are you babbling about? What are you? Are you a self-help guru? What are you? What are you doing? I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Taylor Swift got over 70,000 people to register to vote.
Damn, good for her.
Just by her saying that in Tennessee, I think it was in Tennessee, over 70,000 people. Isn't that crazy?
That is wild.
Because that can swing a fucking election.
Because of Mark Cuban put an Instagram photo up about the vote.org or some shit.
Oh, that's what led you to check?
That's what made me check, yeah.
So Mark
and then
Cuban
Michael Rappaport put a video up about today being the last day to register and that November 6th. So people are making their fucking rounds, getting the word out.
There are some races where I'd be excited to go vote in some races. If you're in Texas and you could vote for Beto O'Rourke over Ted Cruz.
Yeah.
Do you know how good that would make you feel? For me, when I leave after voting, in the 2016 primary when I voted for Bernie, I was ecstatic when I had voted for him.
Yeah, but you didn't feel this is going to be useful. It's
it was close at that time.
Yeah, true.
By the time the election got here, it was close between Bernie and Hillary. And so I voted for Bernie. I was feeling fucking great. I was on cloud nine, but then learned at night that Hillary won and in New York, and you learned that she crushed.
Imagine being in Michigan and placing a vote for Bernie and seeing that he won. Like that
Oh
must
my
have been a
God,
good
that
ass
must have felt
feeling.
so good.
Yeah.
But the thing that broke my heart though was that I saw it. I saw fucking voter suppression with my own two eyes, Corin. When I went to go vote for when I went to go vote for Bernie, there's this young kid who walked in, probably like 23 or so. He was like, "Oh, I'm here because I want to know if I'm registered as a Democrat or an independent. I'd like to vote, but I need to know if I'm registered as a Democrat or an independent." And so the person checked and was like, "I think you're registered as an independent because you're not in here as a Democrat." And he was like, "Oh, okay." And then he had to leave. He wasn't allowed to vote because primaries in New York are closed primaries. So you have to be a Republican to vote in the Republican primary. You have to be a Democrat to vote in the Democratic primary. It should be the case that you could be an independent too and decide I want to either vote Democratic or Republican. But anyway, he was turned away. And that's if they allowed independents to vote, there's no way Bernie would have lost by as much as he lost by in New York. I'm not saying he would have won because he lost by quite a bit in New York, but there were a lot of votes that he didn't get because you can't have independents vote, and because they didn't allow you, like if you wanted to switch parties, which by the way my brother-in-law did, if you wanted to switch parties, you had to do it like 6 months in advance or some crazy shit.
Yeah, and how the fuck are you supposed to know?
Yeah, people don't know. People don't fucking know. And dude, it's on purpose. They do it on purpose.
Yeah.
So it really that hurt when I saw that because I'm like, there's a vote for Bernie that's now walking out the door.
Well, that's why. Like, if I wasn't registered to vote, I wouldn't have known that shit. Like, if I didn't follow fucking Mark Cuban or Michael Rappaport on Instagram, like that shit wasn't on TV. Like, again, I'm not really watching the news stations like that, but like, I didn't see fucking commercials or I didn't see like shit getting blasted out like that today was the last day to register to vote. And maybe I'm just a dumbass, but like there's a lot of other dumbasses like me out there that didn't know that shit.
No, they don't. It's not talked about enough.
No.
It's not talked about enough.
That shit should have been everywhere. Like that shit should be on ESPN. Like it should be on every fucking news station. Like that shit should be a
should be a holiday. News. Voting is not.
Yeah.
It's not a holiday. So people have to take time out of work and shit to try to go vote.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It should be a holiday. Number one. Number two. The idea that we live in a country where there's mandatory jury duty, but you don't have mandatory voting. But you think mandatory jury duty is something that's okay, but not voting. There's some countries where you have to vote. You have to vote, even if you vote for whatever.
Yeah, well,
a write-in candidate or some shit.
The fucking presidential thing that went to everybody's phone. Send one of those motherfuckers out that say like today's the last day to fucking register to vote, or voting day is like November 6th. Like make sure everybody knows that shit.
Wasn't that creepy when?
Oh, it was weird.
I looked at my phone. I was like, presidential alert. This is a test. I was like, what the bitch? I didn't sign up for this shit.
But the reason they're testing that shit, like I said, is some shit's about to go down, and they just want to know that they could fucking reach everybody's phone.
Dude, they're able. I mean, think about that fact. The government has your number, and they could just send. They're like, we know this is you, and we're sending you a message. It's like, I didn't fucking sign up for you to tell me anything. Like, kind of fuck off. I don't know who the fuck. Like, stop. I didn't sign up for this shit.
Yeah.
Somebody said you needed a phone. You need a phone that's like 7 years old or something, and then you're good. Like if you get a phone that's 7 years old, then you're kind of off the hook because you just have an older phone and it's not in the system. But since if you have a newer smartphone,
oh, it's a wrap. Yeah,
it's a wrap. And we all have our phones are all new enough now.
Or you log into any website. Like when I used to log into Facebook, I think you used to be able to type someone's phone number into Google and it would link up to their Facebook or some shit like that. It's just like you're typing your phone number into some shit that you don't even know about. Like I signed up my phone number to get a bobblehead at a baseball game like 2 weeks ago, and the shit said it was like it hit me with one of those like terms and conditions shit that was basically like we're gonna get you for everything.
Yeah.
But you still want the bobblehead? And I was like, yep, I agree. Fuck it.
That's what happens, man. That's
like,
why I
some of
hate
that shit anyway.
I hate, like, oh, you got to put more information into this other website. It's like, fuck.
I know.
I just want to put, like, a ban on any new websites, like putting new shit into new websites. It's like, just not anymore.
Buying anything online, sometimes they already have checked off for you, like, send articles and discount codes, and I'm like,
yeah, it's
don't
like, I
just
did
check
not
that shit
yeah,
for me.
exactly. I did not fucking click that. What are you doing? Fall back. What are you doing? That's crazy.
Or when you try to unsubscribe to a fucking email and it hits you with some like other shit that like is like a button that makes more emails come and you gotta like keep searching for the unsubscribe button.
I have some emails that I've been getting since I was a teenager.
It's OD with the unsubscribe, and then it'll be like, tell us why you want to unsubscribe. I'm like, no.
Yeah, just fucking stop
like,
it.
I don't want to be subscribed, and I don't want to answer a question on why I'm unsubscribing. Like,
yeah, just leave me the fuck alone. What are you doing? This is ridiculous. The other day, so somebody reached out to me. I don't know how they got my information, but they were like, hey, we want to use this clip for a documentary that we're doing. Could we have your permission? I was like, yeah, just use it. I'm not a copyright troll. Just go ahead. He's like, okay, well, this is the part that we're going to use it. It's like from 14 seconds until 20 seconds in this video. And I was like, okay, what's the issue on? I'm not going to go into the issue for everybody because I don't know if I really should be talking about this. But I was like, okay, just make sure, like, whatever you're playing, just make sure the full context is there so I don't get, like, a bunch of hate emails. If people,
that's a good point.
You see, yeah, and so the dude was like, okay, well, we were going to use this part. And I was like, just, okay, that's not really the full context. You just add, like, an extra 5 seconds, this part here. And they're like, yeah, no, I spoke to my supervisor, and he was like, we just want to use this part. And I was like, okay, whatever, fine, you could use it. I don't care. Even if it is out of context, whatever. And then the person responds like, can we have you sign a release for this? I was like, no, I'm not going to fucking sign. God. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? You email me if I could use your shit. I say yes. I give you everything you want. And then you want me to sign some shit? Like, you have my word. I'm not going to fucking sue you for putting 8 seconds of a clip of mine in a fucking documentary.
That's exactly like the unsubscribe shit. It's like...
And just... just sorry, but real quick, for the record, everybody, I'm not talking about A Leaf of Faith, the movie A Leaf of Faith, because I was in that Kratom documentary.
You said, on Netflix?
Yeah, and that was cool. The guy didn't even contact me, and it was fine. That's totally cool. And shout out to that dude. No, shout out to that dude.
Shout out to him.
No, that dude's cool.
Oh, okay.
That dude's cool. He used my shit. But he was on Rogan's podcast talking about Kratom, and he works hard to keep Kratom legal and shit.
Oh, okay.
So shout out to that dude. But the other dude, fall back a little bit because I'm not signing anything. You need to
yeah. Well, that's the unsubscribe button asking you why you want to unsubscribe. It's like, no, I already told you I want to unsubscribe. That's your saying, yeah, use the shit. Don't make me sign some shit now. Like, fuck out of here.
It's not even like... Because now you put me in a position where I have to sound like a dick when I'm like, no, I'm not going to sign it. But it's like, I'm not being a dick. You just fucking came out of nowhere and blindsided me with a bunch of shit. And I don't even want to be having this conversation, but I'm having this conversation. And I'm going to say, no, sign some shit. Are you crazy?
Yeah.
You must be crazy. Like, even if I was... You get into agreements with people sometimes, and you have an agreement, but you don't even need to sign some shit. I'm going to do an agreement with some dude for 8 seconds of a clip in a documentary, and you want me to sign some shit? Fuck out of here.
Well, yeah, no, that's fucked up now. Is like people, you come across more as the asshole when it's like someone's being the asshole.
Yeah, I don't have an example, you're asking me to, I don't know you, and you're coming out of nowhere and asking me to sign some shit. If it was like an autograph or something, whatever, fine. But it's not. It's here's a fucking release. Here's like a legal thing. It's like, who are you? No, go away. Yeah. You want to use my clip? Use my clip. I'm not going to do shit. You can use it. I don't care. Go ahead.
Yeah. I'm fucking nervous that I probably get so many I get a whole bunch of spam emails that probably go to my like deleted folder, but there's probably so many other more shits that like, it's probably just so easy to steal my identity that like.
Dude, how many times have we seen articles like, oh, this website had a data leak? It's
Yeah.
like every website. It was like
I know.
fucking the credit thing. Remember that?
Yeah.
The new one was Google Plus, and then
Oh,
they shut
really?
it down or something. Like, there's just
Well,
nothing is
especially
safe.
with the shit I'm doing. Like, I signed up to get a fucking Wade Boggs bobblehead at a Tampa Bay Rays game. And I put my phone number in, my email address.
That's such a Corin thing to do. It's like, I really want that bobblehead. It's like,
But
okay, well, you're
I
going to have to
wanted-
give away your life savings for
I
that.
was like, fuck it.
All right, but I want that bobblehead.
I wanted my wife to do it too. She didn't do it, but the guy gave me a bobblehead anyway because he was cool. But I was like, people have your shit anyway. Like, you get those weird governmental phone calls that say, like, you'll get arrested if you don't, like, this is Washington, D.C. calling, like the FBI.
See, that's your problem is that you answer the phone. That's the problem right there. Just don't answer.
Yeah, I know.
At this point, I don't understand people who pick up on numbers they don't know. Like, I don't get you. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing
but
that?
sometimes it's like, sometimes they'll hit you with some shit where you're like, is this like, I don't know. It could be someone.
No, it's always bullshit.
Or you see in the voicemails now, they transcribe too. So you'll see, like if you listen to the voicemail, sometimes
I don't even
it's
have
still
a
running.
voicemail.
Oh, really?
Gangster. I don't have a voicemail.
That is pretty gangster.
I've told the stories on air about my dad in voicemails, right?
What, leaving like just OD voicemails?
My dad, yeah, it's hilarious. Like, we have cell phones. If I know you and you call me or you, like, I can see your name there and I'm going to get back to you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it'll say, missed call from dad.
Yeah.
What am I going to do? I'm going to look at that and then go, like, I'm not going to call him back. Like, it's my dad. Like, of course I'm going to fucking call him back. But my dad he would call me and he would leave these messages. And it's like, hey, buddy. How's it going, man? Just checking in. You got this, I don't know if you saw the game, but the game's on. Man, it's a close game. You should really check it out. It's on MSG.
It would really be like that?
It would be like this, and then at the end it'd be like, okay, anyway, just calling to check in, so give me a call back. And like the whole point of the thing was call me back, which I got when I saw your fucking name on the thing. I'm gonna call you back. And so there was not a single time where he would call me and I didn't answer where he wouldn't leave a message. And I had even told him, like, you do know you don't have to, like, I got you, I'm gonna call you back.
Yeah.
And he would just keep leaving messages.
Oh.
And then it was a mix of not just that, but it was also like other people leaving messages who I don't like know who they are, and I was just like, why do I snapped one day? I was like, I don't understand why I need to have this. I don't need to have this. And then I remember my mom was probably like, but honey, you gotta have a voicemail because the voicemail is important. And I was just like, no, that doesn't make sense. I'm not. That's it. No voicemail. And to this day, sometimes people will be like, do you realize you don't have I was like, yeah, I know. I don't have a voicemail.
It's sort of gangster. You like force the hand where it's like, I'll call you back. You don't have an option.
It's one of the best moves I ever made, to be honest, because
it's a solid move.
How much time have I saved in my life? Like, there's definitely like an hour and a half worth of voicemails that I didn't listen to since I had deleted my voicemail. You know what I mean? Like, that's an hour and a half of my life saved.
That's like dumb important that you've just never gotten the information.
Definitely not. My
It's like, hey, we'll call you one time, but it's the New York Lotto, and I want to give you $75 million.
Even if I got that call, I would hang up because I'd be like, this is a scam. I'd just hang up on it.
Yeah, there's probably so many times the Lotto is like, try to call someone and tell them, like, claim their prize, and they're just like, yeah, stop fucking with me.
I wonder. I'm sure that there has to be a story of a literal lost winning lotto ticket, right? Like
I don't check my lotto tickets. I'll always play like the $700 million. Like when they get Diesel, I'll always play.
And then you don't check it?
I never check it.
Oh, you have to check it.
Because it's like I never will win. The only time I'll check it is if like I hear on the news like someone in Illinois won or someone in New York won.
Yeah. That makes
sense.
Like,
let me check my ticket.
That makes sense.
But I'm not going to go out of my way, like, bring my ticket in and check that shit. Because I fucking watch all these shows, and even if you do bring it in, the clerk is like, oh, you didn't win. And they take the ticket and fucking, the dude took it. This was in Texas. The guy used to go to the, like, store every day. The guy took his ticket and fucking bounced to, like, India the next day or some shit. got away.
No.
Yeah, he got fucking like he claimed the money somehow or like wired it. It was like weird.
Oh my god. Just stolen
Yeah.
lotto ticket that
Yeah, it was
won.
like this old black dude came in and like he had won like whatever $5 million or some shit. The dude behind the counter was just like they showed the videotape and he was just like took the guy's thing, he walked out and then the guy just like bounced.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's a nightmare. Holy shit. And then
Yeah.
there's nothing you could do because nobody has jurisdiction. He's in India
No.
now. He just left.
Yeah, you can't fucking find that fucking guy. That guy probably like went on like the Ellen show or some shit and got like Best Buy money.
That's a good GoFundMe. That guy's GoFundMe would go through the roof. That guy would definitely get like $1 million from GoFundMe.
I think they did an update on the show and they were like, "Yep, he's still just broke and goes back to that store to keep playing."
Oh no! When was this? Was this a long time ago before there was
Yeah.
GoFundMe? Oh.
Oh yeah, it was it was like
That dude.
it was like probably a mid-90s shit or something.
Oh, he missed out. If he survived, he could have still done a GoFundMe, and he would have made money.
Yeah, GoFundMe's fucking amazing.
Yeah, but sometimes it's used like fucking Brett Kavanaugh's family raised like $500,000
For what?
because they were like, "Oh, he's being treated unfair."
His family?
No, they were saying that Kavanaugh was being treated unfair. So,
No, but his family did a GoFundMe?
no, somebody did a GoFundMe for Brett Kavanaugh. I don't know who did it for Brett Kavanaugh, but it was for Brett Kavanaugh and his family.
Anybody out there, start a GoFundMe for me. Just make it, I just want to chill on my couch and just watch some TV.
Well, no, Corin, you don't have somebody
never
make it for you. You make your own and then direct people to it.
I thought somebody made it for Kavanaugh.
Yeah, somebody made it for Kavanaugh. Probably somebody he knows, and that person is going to give him all the money. It's not a random person.
Oh.
If a random person does a GoFundMe for you, they'll just take the fucking money.
Yeah, that's true.
Some random dude is going to
out there want to just start a GoFundMe for me, and then I trust you. Just send me the money.
Oh, don't say that, because somebody will do it.
I need a GoFundMe.
Tell your wife. Your wife will set up a GoFundMe for you.
Yeah, she'll do that shit. I don't want to fucking touch any websites or like just do so bad with that shit, man.
Yeah, we're grandpas, even though we're from the technology age.
So I went to a fucking thrift store today, and it just felt so vintage and old, and I loved it. It was just old shirts and like old shit, and it just brought me back to like just a better time.
Was there candy and shit?
No candy. It was like a Goodwill store. It was
okay.
And they just had like old T-shirts and shit, and it was just like I liked seeing all that shit.
Did you get any of it or no?
I actually found a fucking Chicago Bulls like championship T-shirt from 1993.
Oh shit!
It was like unworn for $1.99.
Are you serious?
I looked on eBay. That shit was going for like $50.
Oh, so you got that?
Yeah. Oh, I got that shit. Yep.
That's actually pretty awesome. You found like a
and then
diamond in the
tomorrow
rough.
at work is Hawaiian shirt day, so I picked up some like OG, just bright ass Hawaiian ass shirt.
I wonder if you think you could rock that unironically and like kill it or no?
Nah, because they didn't have that much selection, and I'm usually a medium, and the shit was a large, so I sort of like even reached a little bit.
Okay.
It's not, and it's like faded. Like I could tell if the shit would be hot, but it's like meh.
Yeah, Hawaiian. That's bold. A Hawaiian shirt is bold. To wear a Hawaiian shirt.
There's this one dude at work who's old. He's old, and he rocks a Hawaiian shirt every day. So like this must be like Christmas for him.
Yeah,
when he heard it was like Hawaiian shirt day.
So that's his thing. That's his style.
Yeah, but he just rocks it because he's an OG. Like he's not like trying to wear a Hawaiian shirt. Like he just fucks with Hawaiian shirts.
Yeah, that's his real shit.
Yeah, my dad used to wear these Disney shirts, and on the pocket it would be like a little Disney character.
Yeah. I know those.
And that was his shit. Like he used to just like we would go to the Disney store in the Westchester Mall, and he would buy those shirts, and he would like keep a pen in his pocket, and like he didn't like Looney Tunes and shit. He just fucked with those shirts.
He just liked the shirts. Yeah, that's
Which
good.
is
I
weird.
like that.
Yeah.
No, that's pretty cool. I like that.
It's cool, but it's just weird that like I mean like. I don't know. Maybe my dad was onto some weird shit. No, I'm just kidding.
Remember when the Lacoste shirts were in and everybody was wearing those?
Yeah.
Those are nice. They're solid colors, and then they got the little Lacoste thing. There's probably so many Lacoste knockoffs because it's so easy to just put a little alligator on a collared shirt.
Hell yeah, there's probably, and then there's Polo, and then there's that hood shit, the U.S. Polo Association.
U.S. Polo. It was U.S. Polo ASSN, right? And I would always read it as Assassin.
Ones.
I would always read it as U.S. Polo Assassin. You're right that it's association, but I would always read it as Assassin.
Yeah, no, yeah, I could see it. I thought there was Polo, and then there was U.S. Polo Association, and then I thought there was like that USSN shit.
ASSN, U.S. Polo ASSN. Oh, so you think there's a different one?
I thought so, but I guess that's the
I'm
same
not
shit.
sure. Maybe there is, but it says U.S. Polo ASSN Assassin.
Yeah,
that's the fake one.
Yeah, that's the fake shit.
Yeah, that's definitely the fake shit. What else was there?
I can't rock that.
Remember Echo?
There was Echo. There was Fubu.
I never wore Fubu, but I wore Echo.
There was Fila.
Fila.
Grant Hill had Fila. You're rocking Champion, I see. That's a throwback.
Yeah, that is a throwback.
Champion had shit.
Remember Aeropostale?
Everlast? Oh, Aeropostale. But they still make some shit. Like, they'll make some jeans or, like, some, like, pants that I'll wear.
Remember back when Abercrombie was hot for a minute?
Yeah.
And then now it's, like, a douchebag attire?
Imagine taking that job. Shout out to anybody who is listening still that worked at Abercrombie. That would have to, like, take their shirt off in the middle of the winter and just stand at, like, the front door.
You remember Armani Exchange? That was my shit. That was like was the first shit I got where I was like I'm fashionable. I would get like the Armani Exchange T-shirt that had like the Armani Exchange written across here, and I'd be like, "This shit is fashionable." That was the first time I ever felt like fashionable.
That was like true, like Guido.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
Epidemic.
New York
like
Guido
times.
Type shit.
Yeah, the AX belt.
AX belt. I never wore the belt, but I had the
belt
T-shirts.
Was like heavy. If you were into the belt,
if you
were full blown into it.
Yeah, you were going to like clubs at night listening to techno music.
Yes,
for sure, and tanning.
It was the belt, tanning. The shirt. I think would the shirt be tucked in? That would be if you were on some OD shit.
I never tucked the shirt in. I just wore a regular. There
was those diesel shoes. Remember those black shoes?
I never wore them, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Everybody had those though.
Yeah. Not me.
And then before that, I didn't have them. But like if you were in that, like time, then there were the Clarks, like those Wallabies with like the that sort of look like elf shoes.
Yeah, remember those Crocs?
Joints? I got a pair of Crocs.
The shits are just rubber shoes.
Yeah, I love them. I cut the grass.
Are they comfortable?
Shits.
They can't be comfortable.
I think they're pretty comfortable. They're just easy to slip on. Like I like them. I think I have a knockoff pair.
Yeah, I just remember them being like rubbery. That's all I remember.
They're good for like water shit. I mean, like you can strap them on the back and like go through puddles and be like Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins. So what else was there? Clothes. I think that's all the clothes that I remember.
Tommy Hilfiger. Oh. Remember Nautica jackets.
Yeah. Remember for like a year and a half, fucking M&M's brand? Shady? Was it Shady Unlimited? No.
Shady 45 or something?
No, M&M's clothing. Let me see.
He had a clothing line?
He did. You don't remember this?
No. Maybe if you say it.
I think it was Shady, right?
I don't remember if that was it. Shady.
Yeah, Shady
he used to
Limited.
Say that in his... Oh, I don't remember that.
Shady Limited. I think that's what it is. Let me see. Yeah, it's Shady Limited.
I know G Unit used to have a little clothing line. They used to have all those hats.
Damn. So did you ever wear FUBU and G Unit? Because then you outblacked me, son.
No.
Furthest I went was Echo. That was the furthest I went.
I didn't even rock Echo. I had a bear jacket when I was a kid. They made those fluffy jackets.
Oh yeah. I know the one you're talking about with the hood, the hood that was fluffy.
Yeah,
I think I had a fluffy hood jacket once.
Oh, with like the Eskimo shit. I never had that.
And North Faces were the shit.
North Faces were the shit. Yeah.
If you had a North Face, that was like, oh, you're cool. Back in the day.
North Face were the shit. If you just had a regular one, and then
This is a trip down memory lane looking at all like the shady limited shirts.
Jimmy used to have the Gore-Tex North Face, but I never fucked with that.
I had one Gore-Tex, but the problem with the Gore-Tex was it's more like for looks than like it's not comfortable. The comfortable one was the puffy.
Yes.
Yeah, that was the comfortable one.
That shit used to keep us so warm. I say us like we used to wear it together.
We would wear the same jacket and walk around together.
Just one jacket that we would fit into.
Yeah.
And we would tie our umbilical cords together.
That's a good callback. You just did a comedic callback. And on that note, let's call it a night. All right, guys, we love you. We'll talk to you soon. Actually, is the next...
Are you going to put both of them up? Because that first shit was like 6 minutes of just...
Nah, it was only 5 minutes. People weren't missing out on much. But wait,
that was so weird.
It's the 9th now.
So it's next weekend. We're out. Next Friday.
It is, right? It is, right? So wait, is there going to be one more Tuesday? Yeah, maybe there's a... So who knows?
Next Tuesday we can do like a prep for...
Yeah, we'll see. If there, maybe we'll squeeze another podcast in on Tuesday. But yeah, we're gone soon. LA, baby.
I'm hyped. That's going to be so
dope,
Get
your tickets, man. Politicon. Let's do this, bitch.
They're hyping up the wrong fucking people, man. I'm tight at them.
That's all right. No worries.
Because they put that one shit up.
We're going to have fun. We're going to have fun. And everybody's going to love it. And it's going to be sweet. And we're going to make best of it. But anyway, love you guys. We will talk to you soon. Peace. We're out.